Most people think they listen to music. They don't. Come to this channel and you should know this. If you want real musical ability, you have to listen to music. But listen to music is not the kind of listening you think it is. You might say, I listen to tons of music. Sure, me too. We play a song once or twice. We put music on while doing homework. We listen on the subway. I listen while driving. That's background. I cannot say it's noise, but it's background listening. It's passive listening. Then you say, no, I've heard some songs many times. I can even sing them. How is that passive? Okay, then answer me this. Besides the part you sing, what else did you hear? If all you hear is the singing part, you're not listening to music. You're listening to melody. And honestly, I used to be exactly like that. If we listen to music only for the melody, I don't know whether you experienced it. When I listen to jazz standards myself, that's exactly the feeling I get. If you focus only on the melody, you either can't really recognize it, or many of them start to sound very similar, completely abstract. I listened to a bunch of them, and after a while I felt empty. Nothing stayed, nothing changed. But when I picked one single favorite standard and listened to it almost 200 times, something in my perception changed clearly, physically. That's when I realized something uncomfortable. You think listening to music is entertainment, but listening to music to develop musical ability is not entertainment at all. Real listening means active listening, and it has to be active. Because if it's not active, melody is all you will ever hear. If you want ability, you need to hear everything beyond melody. The bass, the harmony, the rhythm, the groove. And honestly, that's still not even the full list. Have you ever listened to a jazz standard? There's even more stuff you have to hear in there. Today, we are breaking down the anatomy of a jazz standard. We are going to discuss how to actively listen. So when you listen to a jazz standard, the first thing you need to hear is not the music, it's the timbre. Which instruments are playing? Here we use a classic setup, the piano trio. Piano, upright bass, and drums. That's it. But the emotional range is enormous. Take the Oscar Peterson trio, Night Train. When you listen to it, don't let it run in the background. Focus. First, lock onto the bass. You will hear it walking, moving through the scale. That's a walking bass line. The bassist is improvising inside the chords, outlining harmony while driving momentum. Next, shift to the drums. Jazz drumming isn't heavy beats. It's swing. Feel the bounce. Listen to the hi-hat. It snaps on beats 2 and 4. 1, 2, 4, down. That offbeat emphasis is the heartbeat of jazz. As the song progresses, musicians trade solos. Jazz is conversation. One improvises, then passes to the next. Real-time dialogue. Here I need to clear a huge misconception I used to have. I thought jazz musicians improvised using the key scale. But if you listen actively, they improvise through the chords. Improvising using the key scale is what music theory typically calls horizontal playing. For example, suppose a pop or rock song in a C major, no matter how the background chords change. From C to F, then to G, then to A minor, a guitarist or a keyboard player can basically keep playing the C major scale, and it will still sound mostly consonant, just like I did in my previous video. Super easy. This, in a scale, as long as I stay inside it, I can improvise safely. Let's try it. It's like taking a very wide brush and painting the entire wall with one color, C major. This is also how most beginners first learn to improvise. It's safe, easy to start with, but it can quickly sound repetitive and predictable. By contrast, improvise through the chords is what jazz calls vertical playing. Jazz standards often have extremely complex chord progressions. Sometimes there are 2 or even 4 chord changes within a single measure, and they frequently move outside the home key, borrowing chords from other tonal centers. If you stubbornly stay inside the original parent scale, once the harmony changes, your notes will start clashing with the accompaniment. It can sound harsh, what musicians call wrong notes or note collisions. So, what do jazz musicians do? When jazz masters improvise, they are not focused on the overall key of the song. Their ears and attention are locked onto the exact chord happening at that moment. If the first beat is G7, they play notes that belong to G7. If the harmony shifts to C major 7 on beat 3, their brain and fingers instantly switch into the C major 7 sound world. What makes them advanced is their ability to create a single flowing melodic line that outlines all those complex chord changes. It's like a chameleon sprinting across a path made of different colored tiles. Every time it steps on a new tile, its body must instantly change to match that color. Here is the ultimate irony. I mentioned chameleon, and Herbie Hancock has a legendary fusion standard called Chameleon. It is a masterpiece, but musically it is the exact opposite of the chameleon metaphor I used earlier. When I said you need to be a chameleon to play jazz, I meant bebop. I meant running across changing colors and switching instantly. That is hard. But Herbie's song Chameleon, it barely changes color at all. It sits on one funky groove, B flat minor 7 to E flat 7, for minutes at a time. Now, Herbie Hancock is a genius. He invented that style. He made that one groove sound like an entire universe because his rhythm and tone were god tier. But because Chameleon doesn't force you to change chords, it became the perfect trap for lazy musicians. Countless amateurs looked at Chameleon and said, "Wait, I don't need to learn complex changes. I can just play a B-flat blues scale and an E-flat 7 scale for 10 minutes and call it jazz." And that is how fusion died. Indeed, what matters in Herbie Hancock's Chameleon is the groove, not a chord progression. I also know that rhythm and groove in music are no less important than harmony. It might be that I'm still a bit restrained when it comes to rhythm and groove. Give me some time. At my current stage, I'm pursuing the ability to move like a chameleon sprinting across a path made of different colored tiles. It's fascinating. The tiles are the chords. And those chords are far more complex than what you see in the real book. Every jazz musician owns one, but I seriously doubt anyone becomes great by mechanically practicing what's printed. The real book is a guide. Real ability is built by years, not eyes. So why do you have to listen to a jazz standard so many times? Because if you play piano, you should sing some version of the piano solo. If you play guitar, you should sing some version of the guitar solo. You should sing. You need to sing their solos. You don't have to transcribe it, but singing is the minimum requirement. I tried. It's hard. much harder than pop songs. Another thing to listen for is what the other instruments are doing while one instrument is soloing. For example, if you play bass, after listening to a bass solo many times until you've been focusing on the bass the whole time and can even sing the line an octave higher, you should listen to the same bass solo again and pay attention to what the piano is doing. Listen carefully. When bass or drum solo, does piano stop? No, never. The piano comps, accompanying rhythmically with chords. Oscar Peterson feeds energy without getting in the way in his trio. Very gently. We may have gone too far, too fast. I need to pull both you and me back, at least for now. We know that the next time you listen to a jazz standard like Night Train, break it down. Listen to the piano trio as a team. Follow the walking bass. Nod your head to the symbol on 2 and 4. Enjoy the solos and listen to how they support each other through comping. This is only the beginning. A jazz professor once told me, learning music 3 lifetimes still wouldn't be enough. I only have half a lifetime left. I'm a poor soul, but I'm brave enough to lead by example and keep walking this road with you. If you want real musical ability too, subscribe to this channel. We've got a long road ahead.